Yo, what's up guys, it's the Rogue One here, and today I'm going to be giving you guys a tour of my Doofenshmirtz Evil Incorporated base, which you can see right here, which is currently what our base is on our modded survival server. And we're also going to be giving you guys a quick tutorial on kind of how to build this, and by the way, you do not need any mods to build it. We just have some certain blocks that are part of mods, but those are definitely not necessary. Here is kind of the exterior view. We also have banners. I know it's an S, not a Z. It just Z's are really hard to make with banners. Without further ado, let's go into the base and give you guys a quick tour.
Who am I?
Right here on the front door, we have a piston door, and here are two piston elevators. So this world is in 1.12. And piston elevators on this server, for some reason, like to duplicate, and it just doesn't really work. So instead, we have this teleport button, which is just a faster elevator. No big deal. You can see
if you guys are playing on 1.15, if you're on the computer edition, the Java edition, we can give a quick tutorial on how to build these elevators in the end, but because we're on 1.12, it doesn't really work.
So we're going to start. Alright, so if you come up, we have a spiral staircase here into our furnace room. And these are the first modded blocks. So these are from the iron chests mod, the obsidian chest. Here's our brewing stand area, which is part of that. We've got this huge painting. And then we have glass item frames holding these anvil torches. And out here we have the portalanator.
So this right here is the deck of, kind of like the deck or the mouth of Doofenshmirtz right here.
So this leads to the Twilight Forest, but this can be anything you want. It doesn't have to be a portal, but if you want to, it could be like Nether end portal if you don't have mods. And
2,000 years later.
Are you back? All right.
Yeah.
So now, after that issue there, we can move up to the next floor, which is our big chest room. So, and a skeleton is like to join us today. So we have all sorts of these sorted by each individual block, and we've got our crafting tables and all that good stuff. And right here's our trophy room, which we actually have our first trophies to add.
Actually, we have two here. So if you guys watched the last stream, we did defeat both of these bosses, and
along with the Ender Dragon, but we don't have the egg with us
or the head.
Yeah, so here's kind of the anvils, and then the enchantment room here with some birch enchantment books so we can get level 30 enchantments. And then we've got our enchantment chests. Okay, now if we move up to the next floor, we've got armor equipping stations, which you can go into, and it'll equip your armor. And, what did you do there?
Oh, I just put a dragon egg.
Okay, you're good. Yeah, because we did defeat the Ender Dragon. So here's another piston door, which gets us out to the Elytra deck, but Elytras don't like to work in 1.12. So that's an issue.
1.12 modded has a lot of issues, but this is a nice old deck.
So now, if we go up to the Penthouse, which is the brain of Doofenshmirtz, we've each got our little bed with an inventory pet, and we've got Bommy up here on the symmetrical little, what are the furnaces? Wait, did I just call it fireplaces? And then we've got our water feature and ender chest, uncrafting table, crafting table. So now we'll hop into how you guys can build one of these bases for yourself. So here are all the blocks necessary. So you're going to be needing green concrete, light blue terracotta, polished andesite, quartz, light blue stained glass panes, light blue stained glass. You're going to be needing light blue glass, and then sea lanterns along with the necessary redstone. So
you're going to need the redstone, and then the rest is kind of up to you, the decoration inside.
So right here, starting with the outside. So if you follow this down, this plot is a 16 by 16, so a chunk. And
and then it does have a little overhang up top, but otherwise the whole thing is contained within that 16 by 16 area.
So if you want to, there are two ways you can do this. So you could start just by building these pillars up, or you could go in, build this outline 16 by 16 of blue terracotta, and then go in with the light blue in one block, so 15 by 15, build up 30 blocks, and that'll get you right here. So once you have your shell complete, you can go up 2 blocks from your initial 16 by 16 strip of blue, And then you can build this here, which is a 1-block strip all the way around, but on the sides with no striping, it goes up 2 blocks. So you can just follow this all the way around, 1 block on the sides with stripes, and then start with your outer pillar, build that up 31 blocks so that you can have this piece right here. And then you go by rows of 2, so you have 2 pieces of your light blue here, and then build up with blue terracotta all the way up, and you continue that. You should have 6 dark blue stripes or 5 light blue indents, and they should be on a 1-block indent.
Yeah, to recap, it's 16 by 16 around, with a 2-block gap between, another 16 by 16 around, and then you're going up with these darker pillars, 31 blocks, and then these between, and then onto the deck now.
All right.
So the deck right here.
Yeah. So so the regular blue terracotta should be 16 blocks all around, so a 16-block cube. And the light blue should be a 15-block cube. So now moving up.
There are no stripes on the sides.
Yeah. So no stripes on the sides, only stripes on the front and on the back. So now moving up to the deck.
So the deck right here, this is what you're going to need your polish andesite for because we think it looks really nice on the deck. Once you build up 31 blocks, you're going to go out 1 and build like a kind of like a border all the way around.
Like a lip.
A lip, yeah.
All right.
And then you're going to build your deck right on top of that. So your deck extends, I believe, on the count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So from the corner post right here that you built up, it's going to be 10 in towards the center.
Yep, so 10 blocks. 10 blocks this way, right?
Yep.
10 blocks going this way.
So for the fin is up 1 more block. So this is actually 32.
32 blocks right here.
And then you build out 6 with a pillar dividing it, and then you go up 3, up 3, up 3.
So the pillar is in direct center. Up 3, up 3, up 3, up 1, and then you have a 2 thick lip.
Which is 2 thick.
And then you kind of just continue the stripes through all of this once moving up, but we're not to that yet. So now you should have your lip, your fin, and your deck built. So this way of the deck is just an extension of 1 of the width, so 18 blocks. And then you can put a fencing around it if you'd like. Now for the
this fence is part of a mod, so this isn't in regular vanilla, but you could find another fence if you'd like.
Yeah, like you could use some sort of stone wall or whatever. So now for the portalanator, we have sea lanterns in the corners, but the dimensions are, you start with 4 blocks down here, so 2 by 2, with end rods coming out of each block, glass on each side, your light blue stained panes, and then you're going to extend by this 2 shape, so you're going to come no corners, 2, 2, 2 with the no corners, and then you're going to move up to your top level with sea lanterns above each corner, and then the same 2, 2, 2 with stained panes on all of the 2 wide sides. You don't put them in the 1 wide, you put the panes in the 2 wide side.
Also, little tip for people who aren't playing on the modded version, you can actually put a custom portal down here. So if you get end frames and make your regular 3x3 portal, you can actually break parts of the portal without breaking the entire thing. So you could build a 3x3 portal down here and just break off some of the sides and put decoration on it, and you can actually have a 3x3 or 2x2 end portal down here for your portal in nature.
Or a nether.
Yeah, you can put your nether portal down there too.
Alright, so now for this wall face here, you come up 2, 3, 4. You go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it is 6 blocks before you meet the next lip, which is 7 blocks with a 1 block overhang kind of like here. So these should be able to
mirroring your bottom 7 blocks.
Yeah. So mirror this bottom face. You can fill it in with your light blue for the ceiling there, and then you can come in 3 blocks on each side and fill this in with the green concrete. Yep. Oh, so and I'm in the twilight. For this section here, it filled in with the green. Right here, we just have a 2x2 cutout, but you could also make like a 1 gap here and make a green like piston door to come in just for a cleaner look. From the mouth, you build up 12 blocks, continuing your same stripe pattern. And then you reach the brain lip, which is a 2 thick coming out 1 block around each
all
side.
the way around. Yep.
And then right here, if you come 1 block in from this first stripe, you build green for the Doofenshmirtz sign, 2 away from the lip, and then you have your concrete extend all the way out here to the deck lip, right there.
And now we'll do the deck. So the deck over here, if you come back here. So what we have here is, this is a kind of a special stripe pattern. So this deck, you should have your 1 wide lip, and then you go down 1 from your 2 wide lip on the outside to create like a little mini deck. So you'll notice, you know, we have this 2 thick here, and then you drop down 1 for the deck. And then what happens is you actually have these 4 tall pillars. So there's 4 tall pillars. There's, I believe, 6 of them, with 2 in the middle, just like the rest of the build. But then it doesn't go all the way up. There is a 2 wide space above this pillar that you have made over here. So we chose to actually put a piston door in here. That's completely optional. But yeah, that's kind of how this works. And then we have some sea lanterns up here to keep it lit.
And through all these things, when you build up, remember to keep the same stripe pattern consistent throughout it. So now once you have this, you can continue all these pillars up to the same height right over here, which was... So once you build up your 12, you continue every other pillar up to that same height, and then you can have your Doofenshmirtz sign, which we went over the dimensions of that earlier.
Now, important notice, guys, come over here. So, one thing that kind of threw us off earlier is that there's some strange geometry. So you'll notice this pillar right here is the corner pillar, but it's not the corner pillar of the brain, because the corner pillar of the brain is actually this pillar in the middle of the fin. So,
yeah, so this
is from the corner pillar of the brain, or the middle pillar of the corner pillar of the brain is the middle pillar of the fin, so it's not exactly symmetrical.
Yeah, so there is another stripe that comes out once you build the fin. Okay,
Continuing on to the actual brain itself, yes.
Okay, so there should be from here a 2 block indent from your 2 high lip, and that is where you just build up 3 blocks of glass on this side and the same on the other side. So this is all symmetrical. So,
so you'll notice
you'll find the middle.
So this is probably the most complicated part of the build, so you're gonna have to listen carefully. You have right here a purple, so excluding these blocks right here, you have a purple little kind of like a dome almost. It's 7, then 5, then 3. And what you're gonna what you're gonna do then is you're gonna extend 3 of these little like brain holders, whatever you want to call them.
Yep.
So the first holder, which is remember this is all mirrored. This is all mirrored, so if it happens on one side, it happens on the other. So I'm only going to do once. Right here, we have 2, and then 2, and then 2. So what you're going to do is from this corner of the 7, you're going to go up, 2, up, 2, up, and then 2. And then on the second block of your last 2, you're going to connect it all the way back and mirror it across. So everything's happening across and to the side.
Yep.
Next up, you're going to do another little pattern on the, so for the next part of the holder, you're going to go up 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. So 5 little zigzags. And then once you get to the top of the 5th zigzag, you're going to go out 1 more and connect that all the way across. And then you have the same 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little zigzags with a fender across.
And then
really simple. You just extend it out from the top up to a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 high from the top of your dome, connect it over the top and down. And that's how you do this.
All right, and now for the glass section. So as we said here, it's just going to be 3 up for this first section, and it is symmetrical on the same side. So you go 3 up, connect to this thing, which then you go another 2 up with a 1 indent, and then you go another 2 up, connecting to the bottom side of this brain connector. And then you go 1 block in from here, so just like connected, you go 1 block, and then you go 3 blocks across, and then 2 blocks connecting to the underside of this Doofenshmirtz part. Or this like.
And then we chose to put a bunch of sea lanterns on the inside so it kind of glows at night and so it doesn't fill it with mobs. That's optional as well, but we do recommend it so it doesn't fill your house with mobs.
Yep, and then you just fill in these sides with your same stained glass.
And that should cover the exteriors completely.
Alright, so now if we get into some of the redstone. And I'll let Andy take away with all of the redstone because he built all these contraptions.
So the way this works is you'll notice we have trapdoors above that are powering these. So the trapdoors that are above both of these redstones, right underneath them is redstone lines on both sides. Now, when the redstone here gets powered, it's going to send a signal out both sides. Here, follow me over here. To this redstone torch. This redstone torch is being held on because, you know, it's just powering it. And right above this redstone torch is 3 blocks of redstone, or 3 blocks with redstone on top of them, I should say, powering into the top piston. Now, did you know that if you power the top piston, it powers both pistons, so you only need to power one. So this line of redstone right here powers the top piston, and that line of redstone is being powered by this here redstone torch. Now, redstone torches, if the block that they're on is hit with a redstone signal, they will turn off. So anytime someone steps on these pressure plates, it puts redstone signal into the bottom redstone, which then powers the torch off, which allows the pistons to open. So it's really simple. All you do is you put, you know, your trapdoors on both sides, and directly on the block that the trap, so below the block that the trapdoor is on, you need a redstone line on both sides. You then connect that out both ways into a redstone torch, which is 2 higher than the actual redstone on the bottom level. That redstone torch will be powering a block above it with 3 lines of redstone on it, powering right into the back of the piston that's holding the door closed. Now, all you have to do is stand on the pressure plates, which will cause that redstone torch to turn off, which will cause the pistons to turn off, and your door should open, hence making it openable from both sides as well.
Alright, so that's how you make the piston doors. Now moving on to the elevators, which you should be able to make in 1.15.
So for this next one, this is how you're going to build. So we're just going to build it a little off the ground, and we're also, oh, I forgot. So the materials you're going to need are slime, sticky piston, observer, whatever block you want your elevator to be made out of. So this is going to be like what you stand on. So I'm just using iron for this example, and you're going to need obsidian or any other block that's not movable by piston. So you can't move obsidian, regular furnaces, smokers, blast furnaces, any, like all types of furnaces, and then obsidian are mainly your best bets because they cannot be moved by pistons. You cannot have your walls made out of movable objects or the elevator won't work. So we're going to start up here. This one's kind of tricky, but what you're going to do is you're going to place it like this. You're going to have slime. It doesn't really matter which way, but you're going to have slime directly next to a piston, and then you're going to mirror that. So right above the piston, you're going to put slime on it, and then you're going to put another piston facing down into that slime block. So this is the first thing you need to do. Then what you're going to want to do is you're going to grab an observer, and you're going to put it on top of this second slime block right here, and if you did it right, that should happen. It should power it off, and then we just have to reset it real quick so that everything is working. So this powering, well, when it updates this observer, will power this piston here, which will start the flying. But the other thing you have to do is you need another observer with the electric side kind of, you know, the powering side facing into the top of into this slime block right here. So you'll notice it started flying because that's how 1.12 works. But yeah, so what happens is when either of these observers get updated, it pushes the bottom piston, which causes the top observer to see that something changed, which pushes this piston, and it just keeps pulling and retracting itself. But that's not an elevator yet. What you need to do is, now, from the top block, one below the piston, you need to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And then on top of that are going to go your elevator floor. So this is going to be the floor of your elevator right here. So to recap, you've got a slime block. So here, you've got a slime block with a piston on top of it, next to a slime block with a piston on top of it, upside down. You've got a redstone observer powering into this slime right here, and a redstone observer powering right above the air in this torch, this piston right here. Out of the second level of piston, you've got 2 by 2 of slime blocks, and on top of that, your blocks for your elevator. And then all I have to do is update this block right here, and it will start to fly. And now you'll notice it stopped right there. Oh, no, it didn't stop because it's really laggy. And you'll notice it did kind of disappear some of our blocks because it's pretty laggy. But, oh, it's fine. Anyway. But, so I bet you're wondering, how do I stop this thing from going? So this is why you need obsidian. So obsidian is also going to be the walls of your elevator, but it's more importantly used to stop your piston machine from flying. So wherever this obsidian block is right here is also going to be the floor where your elevator comes out. So what happens is when this contraption comes and hits that obsidian, it can't move anymore because you can't move obsidian with pistons. So it stops right there, and then you can just walk right off the elevator. Which is pretty cool. And then it duplicated some blocks. This is why it's better in 1.15, is in 1.12 it duplicates blocks, which ends up breaking the elevator. But the same thing is true for the bottom of the elevator. So you're going to want to make sure that, so you'll notice if we look at our elevator right here, there's a little crevice right here. This right here is where you want the obsidian to land. So we put the obsidian right there, but below it. And then here, we'll just fire it off for you. So you fire the top piston, the top observer right here to get it to go down, and the bottom one to get it to go up. So we fire it up. It goes down, 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 and it lands right here on the observer. So the obsidian block on the bottom is actually 3 blocks lower than the actual floor of your elevator. now, it's all working. So if we were to build the walls up with either like obsidian or furnaces, like so, imagine this is all the way around. And then you could hook up any sort of piston. So as long as you can get something to update this observer right here, or the bottom one if you want to go up, it will go. So what I like to do is to put a little, like using obsidian, this is very important. I like to put, redstone here, and then say we can go boop, 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 and then we can get like this, and then we can get, say, a button, and put it right here, and you'll notice when this clicks, it will update this observer. Now, it's not going right now because I have it stopped, but updating the top observer will cause it to go down, and updating the bottom observer will cause it to go up. So we actually need to connect it up to the bottom observer. Right here, we can just run it right underneath, and you'll notice it fired off, and boom, it'll now go up and stop, and then all you need is a button on the top, right here, and that button will cause it to go down. So yeah, that's your whole elevator. If that made sense, I hope it did. And yeah, that's how the elevator works.
Alright, and now for the final piece of redstone. This is another piston door. It's just built in a different way, so we'll have Andy again show you how to make this.
And this is the simplest of all the redstone contraptions we're going to be building today. So this one, if you can't figure out any of them, hopefully you can figure out this one. So we're going to go into spectator, and we're going to look inside. So you'll notice this button right here is on the same block as the button on the outside. So that's pretty important. So both of these buttons should be on the same block. And if we fly through the door and up to above, you'll notice both of those blocks are powering into this here torch. So when you push the button, it powers the block below it, turning the torch off. And this is so simple. All you do is you make a line, and then you pick where your button is. On top of the block where your buttons are going to be, you put your torch, and then you go to whichever side. So you'll notice you're making a 2x2 door, so it's off-centered. So to one side, you go out 2, and one side you go out 3. That makes sense. And then if you built it right, this torch should be powering right on top of the block that your pistons down below are on, which should power them. So this one's really compact, really easy to make. You only need 5 redstone, a torch, and some pistons, and that's really all you need to do. So when you push this button right here, it turns that torch off, which causes the actual pistons to turn off, and you can work it all in. So that's the easiest of them all. Hopefully that makes sense. I can make that in like less than 5 seconds. And that should be all the redstone. So I think.
All right, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and hopefully our tutorial helped you out by making your cool Doofenshmirtz base. I know it's not the most in-depth tutorial, but we did what we could. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.